Today I want to tell you about the saddest love story ever told. It's one of the oldest love stories ever told as well. One of the most tragic. You see, the saddest love story ever told is that of the businessman or the businesswoman who waits on their employees to love their company as much as they themselves love the company. Business people love the companies because it's something that they've constructed, they've built, they've birthed. They consider it almost like a baby. Whereas employees consider a company a place to work, a place to meet their needs, a place to be with friends, and there are varying levels of commitment or love that we would talk about. Now, I know love's a strong word, so we're going to talk more about commitment or engagement. Okay, when it comes to commitment or engagement, there's a natural bell curve that people tend to fall into. You see this curve in sales. You hear Zig Ziglar talks about how 80% of all sales are made by 20% of the sales force. You've seen it, I'm sure, with your daily businesses and how you deal with people, that you've got this different mix-up of how committed people are to your business. Okay, so first of all, you have those that truly do have a love affair with your business. It's amazing. You don't even know where it comes from. We all wish we knew where that motivation comes from, but they want to be part of your business. They want to see you succeed. They want to see the business succeed. They take priority in seeing the business succeed. That group's probably about 10 to 20%. You know, um, with those 10 to 20%ers, you can rely on them. You can set them on a task, and they're going to over deliver for you. And they're waiting for the next task. In fact, if you don't challenge them, then really you're disappointing them because they're never, they feel that they could do more and you're not giving them the opportunity. Now, you know what the true problem with people like that is, where why you've got to really watch them, right? Because it's a huge problem, right? No, there is no problem with them. They're gold. You can build a fortress on those people, and barring life events, people having children and moving away, or getting married and moving away, or family members getting sick, that sort of thing. They're going to be there for the long haul. We wish we could find them. We wish we could duplicate them. But they're not really duplicable. We don't know how to get that kind of commitment. Then you've got your general staff. These people, they perform to what they believe the best of their abilities are and the best of their training. Okay? So they get out there every day. They come to work trying to do a good job. They want to do the best they can to what they believe their abilities are. And the reason I say to what they believe their abilities are is, let's face it, we all have untapped potential. And so we all live below what our true abilities are. And these are the same way with these people. They have more potential, but they feel like they're 100% more than what's necessary for the job they're doing. Those people, you've probably got about 60% of your workforce, 70% of the workforce that falls into that category. And they're what operates an organization. You just can't find everybody to be in love with the organization, and you can't find people that are just going to have these altruistic means, or they'd rather see you succeed than see themselves succeed. But they still want to succeed. They still want to see success. That's sort of the same thing, right? But they want to see it based off what they've already, what they know, and based off their own expectations. All right. You have a third set of people. The third set of people that you deal with are those that do just the minimum to get by. They know what the minimums are. They've looked them up in the guidebook, and they know they can't get fired for doing X amount of work. And by golly, they're not going to do X plus 1 or X plus 0.1 work. They're going to do the minimum. Those people, one of the biggest problems you have with that, well, number one, you're never getting what you would like from them, and it's hard on morale because You want to see them do better, and you want to try to push them, but the harder you push, the harder they push back. They've already come to terms with where they are in life. You know, it's not like they're going to wake up tomorrow and say, well, gee, I think I'd like to be president of the company tomorrow, or, or vice president or supervisor, move up. If they're willing to work at the minimum for a certain level, they've already said, well, I know I'm not going to get past this level, and so therefore, I'm not going to worry about it. So it's very hard to reach these people. Also, um, these people, you know, these people they talk down to. What was I here? These people that are in the lower group, um, they're the people that typically the business makes fun of or doesn't respect. You know what I mean? These are the people that are considered the burden to the company. Truth be told, you would probably go ahead and fire them all and rehire if you didn't think it would be harder going through all the paperwork of firing them and then trying to rehire a whole other staff, realizing they could be just as bad, if not worse, than what you've already got. And since these people are getting by, then they get by. All right. So we've got these three echelons of people. Now, one thing when it comes to training, because you have these three levels of employees, so much of your training dollar actually is totally tossed away, totally wiped out. And I'll explain to you why. Okay. First, you have the good reason. The good reason is your top 20% of people are excellent. They don't need training. When you pull them off the floor or you pull them off of their site to train them, you're actually losing money because they could be there slam dunking for you and being your Michael Jordans of your teams, giving great customer service, recruiting people, whatever you need done. And so truth be told, when you pull them off for training, it had better be worth their while because they don't need it. And they already have a lot of the skills that you're going to train, because they've taken that initiative upon themselves to find out how to do a better job. Like I said, they love your company, they love what you're doing, and they want to be a part of it. They're proud to be a part of it. The other obvious group of losing money when you train is that 30% or 20 or 30%, those low performers. They 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 want to come to training, but it's because they want to get away from their job for the half an hour, half a day, or half an hour, whatever it is. So anytime you can get them off of their job set, they're happy to come sip their coffee, eat a donut, listen to what you have to say. But the chances of them paying attention to it, retaining it, or applying it are out the window. Like I said, they're already quite comfortable. One thing that bottom 30%, well, hold on. We'll get into that in a second. In the middle of the road, they think, as the middle of the roaders, that they're going to do okay for a training, and normally they will. They pick up things. They learn the trainings and they apply them. But with middle of the roaders, still yet, someone could be having a bad day, a crisis at home, distracted, not enough sleep, a pending problem at work, something. And so even those middle of the roaders, you've got 20% up top that don't need the training, 30% that aren't going to pay attention to it, and you're probably going to lose another 10 to 15% of your people just because they're not engaged for whatever reason that's outside of their control and outside of your control right now. All right? So, what is the solution to such a problem? See, well, hold on, let's take one stop here. One thing I want to say about that bottom 30% and about employees in general is we in today's society, when it comes to being management or trainers, get very judgy. And we'll say things like, that employee is only out for themselves. That employee is only here to benefit themselves or make a buck. And we act like that's a bad thing. The truth be told, if someone were here for other reasons, sometimes you got to question that motive. These people are here to make money. And there's nothing wrong with making money to support your family. There's nothing wrong with making money to support your lifestyle. There's nothing money wrong with making money to support your vices. So for you to say, for us to say, well, they're just here for the money, they're here for their own benefit, and they'll never benefit from anything else. I'm not going to agree that they won't benefit from other things because they are here for their own benefit. And the 1990s, hey, you're a part owner of this company, and is it good for the company, and that sort of thing, where people are supposed to take ownership of the company. That never was. That never did fly. You know, I mean, people don't take ownership in a company, no matter how much you want them to. Like I said, that's that love story that is never going to be met. They take ownership in themselves, and they take ownership in taking care of themselves and their family and their priorities, not yours. Um, so, how, why train? Why benefit? And can you get anything from these people? Should you not even bother to bring these people into training? Here's the deal. Most training or most motivation that we give people um, is egocentric. You try to award them. You have contests. Contests are terrible because that bottom 30% knows it's just a contest. I'm probably not going to win anyways. If it's a merit-based contest, it's wrapped up that part of the 20% that at the top echelon are going to win it. And it doesn't affect enough people. Plus, you end up giving people bonuses just for doing what they're supposed to do. Um, then you can take in like award days, things like that, Christmas parties, things like that. They're too general to be any kind of motivation. Yeah, they awarded me, but they awarded Bobby, Timmy, Susie, and Nancy too. You know what I mean? So you're not going to motivate somebody by giving them this award day or this Christmas party. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things. I think they're good for morale in general. That for getting results, for getting training and things like that, you'll find that they're not unique of enough of a motivator. They're not individual enough, and they're not steep enough of a reward to make anyone do anything. I mean, one of the big problems with that is when you do these public parties and things like that, you're inviting your low performers anyways. So the people that are doing great are the people that are doing, satisfactory think, well, heck, I could have done terrible and still got invited to this. So it's really not based off my merit. And if I do any better, it's not going to make it any better. So that all just seems very gloom and doomy. It seems very frustrating. But here's the thing. These people can be reached. Um, Personally, I have been a magician and a performer for the past 25 years professionally. I started when I was 15. I'm 40 now. And, there are all kinds of superpowers with magicians. We make things disappear, reappear. I have some friends that'll stick a needle through their arm and have it pull up the other side without bleeding. There are all sorts of different stunts that magicians can do, or tricks as we call them. But one of the strongest tricks that we can do is mind reading, where we take and have someone think of an object or a number or something like that, and then we tell them what's going on inside of their head. Okay, so we're actually telling them something, reading their minds. And the joke is when you do this for businesses and corporations, magicians are always like, wouldn't it be great if you could read your employees' minds, or wouldn't it be great if you could read your customers' minds? Okay. Well, you and I just talked about these motivations for these different echelons of employees. Truth be told, we read their minds pretty well. They want to have a secure job. They want to take care of their families. They want to get paid. They want to make sure they keep their jobs. They want to make sure they have a good day. They don't want to have somebody come in and make their day miserable. They don't want to have problems dealing with customers. So all those things, we actually can read employees' minds. Now, one of the problems is that we choose, even though we can read their minds accurately, to not accept what we've read. So uh, what that means is we look at people and we know that they're out here to benefit their families and their agendas. But then we push this, you're an owner in the company stuff. Or we push this, higher service for higher customer satisfaction. Things like that. So here they are, we're reading their minds and we're saying, he wants to benefit himself. He wants to make more money. He wants to benefit his family. And then we're going, okay, we're going to give you the solution for benefiting the company. We're going to give you the solution for benefiting our customers. And so we've read their mind, and it's kind of like the worst magic trick ever, because even though we've got this information from their minds, we're not taking any advantage of it. Okay? So the solution to training, and the solution that I offer to you, is that you make training very much egocentric. All right? What you have to do is give something so rewarding that the most self-centered, narcissistic jerk in your organization will do it. Not because of anything that benefits you or the customer, but because it will benefit him. Where I specialize in that is I can teach people how to wield customer service skills like a sword, like an implement of a weapon, so that they can have a better day, they can be more effective in their jobs, and they can have a better life, and they'll benefit themselves. Now here's the catch. Who cares if they're benefiting themselves? If someone's using customer service masterfully, all right, you're going to get a better customer interaction and higher customer results or customer satisfaction. You're going to get higher sales for your business. You're going to get higher ratings for your business. You're going to get higher employee interaction and investment into your business, all because of teaching them how to better themselves. So even though they have even though these people have no other motivation but to help themselves, like that bottom 30%, by making it egocentric, they'll still do it. For example, all right, let's take something that affects all three levels of your employees. All right, there's a wonderful technique that I teach to people, and it's called acknowledging the customer. And here's the deal. To the customer, feeling acknowledged makes them feel important, makes them feel like a priority, makes them want to do business with you, makes them want to be a long-term customer. So that's the reason why you want to do it, because it automatically warms the customer up to your business. It automatically opens them up to more sales. But here's the reason why someone that's a terrible performer would want to do it. They want to make sure they don't have a bad customer interaction. So, they don't want to get yelled at or screamed at. All right. And if they have a bad customer interaction, that customer is going to be upset, and it's going to ruin their day because it's going to get under their skin and under their nerves. Another thing is maybe that person in that lower echelon, maybe you've warned them about not being personable enough with the customer, not being warm enough with the customer. Well, by teaching them how to acknowledge the customer, then they will be able to appear warmer without giving a rat's patoot about the customer. We'll change that phrasing when we do the real speech. But what you'll do is you'll teach them that they can say words that mean nothing to them that will make the customer more likely to deal with them, more likely to pay them, more likely to give them a higher valuation. So that's how you deal with that 30%. I'm going to show you an example just real quick. With your general people, your 40 to 60%, they're going to want to learn. And the key to teaching them is to make it something that's approachable and rememberable, digestible. So you don't want to give them these pie in the sky 12-step programs on how to interact with the customer, because they don't have time for that 12-step stuff. They're going to be lucky if they remember 3 or 4 points from a presentation, let alone follow 3 flow charts when they go down through here. So by making this a digestible, approachable technique, then you've engaged that 40 to 60%. Your 10 to 20%, they're going to want to learn how to do better. And truth be told, some of these techniques are new and unique. And so while they maybe have heard some of them, number one, they may not have heard them all. And number two, as Tony Robbins says, mastery is the key to any technique. So just because you hear something once, twice, or 10 times doesn't mean you shouldn't hear it again. So let's take this example. Let's say you have a flower shop. Okay. Oh, we'll get into this. So let's say you have a flower shop, just picking a business at random. And the person comes in and they say, "Hi, I'd like to buy an arrangement of flowers. My mother just passed away." All right. Your top people automatically are going to give empathy and bring these people in. Your regular people, your 60 percenters, they're going to want to help the person as best they can. The 30% who care less who died, just get them in and out of here, who cares? Okay. So with that example, typically you would be taught to say, well, what kind of flowers did she like? Or make an offer. We have roses today for this price, blah, blah, blah. All right. All those things about leading into business leave that customer hanging. They've just told them something that is very personal. Yet the people that aren't engaged aren't going to want to get engaged. The people that, you know, everyone wants to do the best they can to handle this. So what you would say during that, what we teach people to say during that interaction is to say, "I'm sorry for your loss. We have some mums that make an excellent arrangement today." All right. So the "I'm sorry for your loss" acknowledges what the customer said and gives them sympathy. One nice thing and that's great for everyone, because everyone, even your lower performers, are going to want to at least appear to be sympathetic. And the fact they don't have to invest anything in it makes it even better. Okay. But one of the nice things about that is when you get your regular people and even some of your top performers, one hiccup is that you can get too empathetic and start to become sympathetic with the customer. And now all of a sudden they say, "Oh man, my mom died 6 months ago too. It's been rough. How are you doing?" And blah, blah, blah. And what happens is you end up investing 15 or 20 minutes of that employee's time just commiserating with the person. So those employees waste their time, and heaven forbid somebody that doesn't want to deal with the customer anyways makes that mistake, because now they're down a path they do not wish to be. So by saying, "I'm sorry for your loss," that gives them a viable way of expressing sympathy and then getting on to business. The second part of that is we actually direct the customer. So we say, "Well, we've got mums, or we've got this on sale, or we've got that on sale." Okay. So by taking this interaction, this is one technique out of out of 5 or 6 techniques I teach in an hour to your customers. This acknowledging the customer. This is going to take people that want to do a good job and help them to do a better job. It's going to take people that don't care whether they do a good job or not, but want to have a nice, easy day. They're going to do a better job. Everyone wins. The customer feels acknowledged, and you're going to get that sale and probably return business. So the secret to motivating these people is, one, to make it very, as you saw just now, is to make it self-centered so that they're going to see benefits from it for that 30% of the people. You're going to make it easily digestible so that people can take the information and assimilate it. And finally and foremost, you're also going to take and you're going to, the messages that I present are entertaining. So by being entertaining, it gives people more of a opportunity to pay attention. So if they are distracted, maybe that joke will bring them back in, or that magic trick. And if it's something enjoyable. So if they're having a physical problem, I've got a broken foot that I've been dealing with, and it's sore sometimes. Sometimes that providing that escape through the training where the interaction is fun and enticing will cause the customer, or will cause the people to better assimilate the information. So we've established, there's 3 types of people in your organization. We've established that by doing traditional training, you're going to lose about half your money. We've established that by doing half 50% of the training, you lose half the money that you're going to do. And we've established also that there is a better way of training so that you can engage most, if not all, of your employees, actually teach them practical, workable methods that's going to improve your customer interactions, your employee interactions, your sales, and your reviews. So it's a win-win for everyone. Uh, and I just gave you one example. I feel that customer service techniques are the strongest way for you to make sales, are the strongest way for you to keep customers, are the strongest way for you to put numbers where you need them, whether it be in satisfaction, quality, lowering returns, and I can provide you the solution that you need so that your people get better customer service just because they want to get better customer service, whether or not they care about your company or your goals. They're going to put out a top quality product for you and a top quality interaction. I thank you all so much for giving me the time to discuss this with you today. And I would love to discuss with you further if you'd like to see me afterwards about some of the other techniques that are taught in my lecture. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Goodbye.